Hello, hello, hello. This is Carib Carter, and welcome to we'll call it the inaugural edition of Leslie at Large with Leslie Lawrence. And I'm going to show you my notes, okay? Because every week I'm going to start with the same question. Here are my notes for Leslie at Large. Where are you? So, Leslie, come in, and where are you this week?
I love that, Carter. How are you?
I am good, thank you.
I like to be on the go. So I recently just got back from Granada, which is a great day trip to do. You know, I live here at Gran Pacifica in Nicaragua, and there's so many cool day trips. And I had a team member in town, and we needed to kind of get away for a few days, and we went to explore Granada. So I have lots of fabulous things to tell you about Granada. Do you know much about it?
Now, all I know is that Ali Sherman wrote a song about it. Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am. Oh, no, that's a different Granada. That's Camp Granada. No. All I know about Granada, Nicaragua is that it is I think an old colonial city. Am I right? Am I right?
Ding, ding, ding. Carter is right. It is actually almost, are you ready for this? It's almost 500 years old.
Wow.
Can you believe that? It is, wow. I think, the oldest in the continent. It's really, really cool. And when you explore and see the architecture, it's that beautiful colonial architecture. It is simply stunning, and it's an amazing place to visit. We stayed at a called the Hotel Plaza Colón, which is right, you know, it's one of those cities that has the Central Park, and you're looking out onto the views of this vibrant, bright yellow cathedral. I think it's called the Cathedral of Granada, and it's very distinct. So once you've seen pictures of it, you'll be like, oh, I've seen that. Like, it's very distinctive. It's beautiful. And, you know, you've got the horse-drawn carriages, and I've been there several times. I will say I've never done like the tourist thing and did the carriages, but this time I said, you know what? I'm going to do that. And guess what? I learned so many cool facts about Granada, saw places and other cathedrals that I had never seen, and it was really a cool experience. It took about an hour, and it was great. I highly recommend it to everyone.
Now, were you doing this in a horse-drawn carriage?
Yes, and I'm an animal lover, so sometimes I'm a little funny about the horse-drawn carriages, and I was like, I made sure I found one that the horses were well fed, and I asked a lot of questions to make sure they were being cared for. I'm one of those. So.
Did you ask them if they were happy? Did you ask the horses, are you happy?
They seemed really happy. They did.
Put their paw like Trigger used to do. Good. Okay.
They really to enjoy what they did and to help people see the city. So
very
cool.
Good. So if Granada's 500 years old, then Granada was here before Nicaragua, right? Is that right?
I mean, is that how that works? I don't even know. I know it's the oldest city in the continent. So there was some kind of stories, and I was trying to keep up. Apparently, William Walker, do you know who William Walker is?
Yes, he declared himself president of Nicaragua, I think, right?
This guy comes in, and he really wanted to apparently take over Central America. And
yes, he did.
His home is right there, and we passed by his home there in Granada. And at one point, he told everybody to set everything on fire except his home. He was trying to take over. So his home is still there. It's crazy to hear the story. You're like, what was this guy thinking? But that was kind of one of the things we learned about during the tour. Another cool fact we got to experience was we came along, like, you're going up towards Lake Nicaragua. It's on the shores of Lake Nicaragua, which there's something else you can learn. Guess what lives in Lake Nicaragua? It's a freshwater
lake. What?
It's a freshwater lake.
A freshwater lake.
It's the one freshwater lake that actually has like oceanic animals. So it has sharks, tarpon, and swordfish, and other type of oceanic life.
Really?
Really?
How big is this lake? Is it huge?
Who knew? I don't know. It's huge. Yeah, it's a huge lake. There's so many islands in it. I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many islands, just, lots,
Wow.
it's like a lot of little islands, larger ones. You can take a boat tour, which I have done before, and it takes you around. You can see all the little islands. There's homes on some of them. There's one, of course, you know me. If you know me, you know I like monkeys. There's a monkey island.
That's
Of
right.
course there is, Carter. There's a
That's
monkey
right.
island that we pulled up to, and I had a face-to-face experience with a live monkey, like literally, like he was right. Well, I think it was a he. I'm not sure. It was a monkey in my face, and it was so cool. I fed him a banana. He was quite happy, and they just put on a show. They were jumping around the island, and they lived there. And I was kind of wondering how I could just get off the boat and stay there with them for a while. It was amazing.
Well, now let me back up for just 1 second. Now that you mentioned William Wallace, right? William Walker. Nicaragua. It was Nicaragua because he did declare himself president of Nicaragua. By the way, when they got fed up with him in Nicaragua, he fled to Honduras where they shot him. That's so there you go, folks. If you upset people in Nicaragua, do not flee to Honduras.
Oh, wow.
A little lesson, a little history lesson there. There we go.
We have more to learn.
Now, the monkeys, you are aware, right? I mean, I want people go to Nicaragua, visit the monkeys. You are aware that they will rip off that beautiful face of yours, aren't you?
Oh, I'm the monkey whisperer. They will not. They like I'm telling you, I've had a thing since I was a child. I always wanted a monkey. I used to tell my mom, like, can I please get a monkey? And she would say, absolutely not. You can't have a pet monkey. But I'm like, well, I would list all these TV shows that I watched, like the Beverly Hillbillies. And guess what?
That's right.
Ellie Mae had a monkey.
Ellie Mae had a monkey.
BJ and the Bear, he had a monkey. I was like, why can't I have a monkey? But I never did get my monkey. So
unbelievable. And as we said on Coffee with Carter, Dave Garraway had his monkey, J. Fred Muggs. All right, in Granada, how big is Granada, do you think? Is it a large city?
Actually, I think now it's around 116,000 population.
Good, so it's a good size. So if you live there, you get the beauty of the antique architecture, I guess colonial art, whatever. Plus, I guess all the amenities, right?
Right. You've got your, grocery stores and all your normal boutiques and shops. And there's one street not far off the Central Park area that's called Calle, here's my Spanish, excuse me, Calle La Casada. And it's a beautiful little street. At night, they have it all blocked off. It's lit up, and there's just lined with restaurants and little shops. And,
wow.
The vendors are out there. And it's a really cool experience just to wander around and check everything out.
So this is very, very quaint. It's a very quaint city. It sounds like largely undisturbed since the colonial days.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. So now that I've gone back a couple times, like you start seeing people you recognize, and there's this lovely, just beautiful soul gentleman that he's deaf. And that was something dear to my heart when I was in college. I took sign language, and he sells bracelets and necklaces, along the street there. And he remembers us now. Actually, it's a really cool small world connection. One of my new property consultants here lived in Granada for 2 months last year. And he knew this gentleman, so he introduced us to him a few months back when I was there. And now when I go, he recognizes me, and he comes up, and he gave me this beautiful turtle bracelet this time because he knows I love the turtles. And he's a beautiful soul, and it's cool to go there now and see people that you recognize. There's a gentleman that has a leather goods store. It's called Soy Nica. And oh my goodness, we go in there, and it's beautiful handcrafted leather, bags and wallets, keychains, and this, we're sitting there smelling of everything. It's amazing. And he's just an awesome gentleman as well. Another place, a restaurant called Pan de Vida. There's this great dog, me, it's about the animals. You walk in, and this beautiful creature comes running at you. He's huge. His name's Kingston. And everybody knows Kingston when you're in Granada. If you talk about Pan de Vida and Kingston, they're like, oh yeah, we know that dog. So it's that small town kind of feel, but yeah, you have everything you need. It's a great place to visit.
I love it. How was the food? I always like to know how the food is in these
Yeah, so
towns.
yeah, it's amazing. You can get, like true Nicaraguan food, but it has so much diversity. Pan de Vida that I spoke about, it was a weird connection. They're actually from Texas, out from Austin, where I left when I went to Belize. So that's a small world thing. They had the most fabulous calzones, amazing. They
Calzone,
do fresh. Oh yes, 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 really, really good.
Italian.
They
Nice.
do fresh banana nut bread, had chocolate chips in it. Oh my goodness, amazing. Then you've got restaurants like there was one called the Garden Cafe that someone recommended to me, and it was a cool little quaint spot. You went in and just kind of that open courtyard area, which that's my favorite thing I think about Granada is the hotels, the homes, a lot of the businesses. You walk in and the front looks more like just a storefront. You wouldn't think it was a home, but you walk in and then you've got your space and you have the beautiful courtyard in the middle with just lush, plants and flowers and usually like maybe a water feature of some sort. But it's one of my favorite things. And of course they have the beautiful, big, huge, just wooden doors that are just massive and amazing.
One thing I want to point out to people that a lot of people don't realize, and I think it's the same in Nicaragua as it is in Honduras, the beef is very, very good in Central American countries. It is the carne, as my wife from Honduras calls it, always carne, whether it's steak or beef or whatever, is same in Granada, is it?
Yes, it's the same in Granada. I wish I could remember. There's one restaurant, I'm drawing blank on the name. Starts with a Z. I'll have to find that out for you. But it has, we went there a couple times and just amazing steak. So we get what's called the churrasco. And I'm not sure really how to compare it to something in the States, but it's called churrasco and you can get it with chimichurri or with a jalapeno sauce. I personally love the jalapeno sauce. And I mean, some nights I eat that almost every day. It's amazing. Really, really good beef here.
You serious? It's hot?
No, yes, it's good. It's great beef.
Because I think, and I think it's the same. Most of the Central American food is not hot and spicy, right? Unless you put that stuff on like you evidently did, right? Okay, okay. It's
Yeah,
very. Now, what about did you go into the? Did they have a big major cathedral in Granada, like they do in most of the towns in Honduras?
Yeah, like I said, the vibrant yellow one you're going to know because once you see it, you've seen it in pictures so many times, and then you're like, oh, that's where it is. But then when we did the tour around the city, we realized there are some, other beautiful cathedrals there. I don't even know the names of them all, but I took so many pictures of cathedrals, and again, they're really, really old. And that's, that's one thing I love exploring, different countries because we don't have that in the US that, 500 years old. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. Some of the architecture that you see and to think that it was built that long ago. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Now, how about the people? How about the people? You've mentioned some of them very friendly. What's the general atmosphere in terms of the warmth of the people and also the safety? Americans always want to know about that.
They do. It was myself and another female, one of my colleagues. We walked around, morning, noon, and night. It's completely safe. We kind of off the beaten path some. We wanted to find this antique store that we saw while we were taking this horse-drawn carriage tour. So we were trying to kind of remember where it was. And when we left the hotel, we were asking about it. And the guy kind of looked at us like, y'all are going to walk there? And we're, yeah, we'll walk. And I think they thought we were a little crazy to walk that far, but we said, no, we're used to walking. So we took off and we did find this antique store and talk about hidden treasures in there. Now, you're going to love this story, Carter. I'm a crazy Wonder Woman fanatic, okay? And people know this. I collect Wonder Woman memorabilia. Okay, would you think in Nicaragua that you would find a Wonder Woman something in an antique store? I did. It was a sign. I literally found this old Wonder Woman sign in an antique store in Nicaragua.
Now, is this a white Wonder Woman or a Latina Wonder Woman?
No, it was the normal Wonder Woman.
It was Linda Carter.
Picture. It was amazing. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. But just cool stuff. It was piled in so much. It was like, I was like, can I just dig around in here? It was really hot in the store because it was so tiny and we were trying to wedge ourselves in there and open things and pull stuff out. I found a really cool old, like it looked like a line and it was a door knocker. And then also a really heavy, it was a real cool kind of turquoise fish and it was metal. It was really heavy. I don't know what it's made out of, but it was like to open your, your Cokes or whatever with. And so I grabbed a couple little cool things. There were some huge things that I thought, I don't know where I would put that or how I would get it back. But I told the guy when I find my kind of permanent house here that I'm definitely going to go back to that antique store.
That's fantastic. Now, how far is, from two places, how far is Granada from Managua, the capital of Nicaragua?
Yeah, I actually drove from Granada to Managua when we left to drop off my colleague, and it took, I think, under an hour. It was not very far, maybe only like 40 minutes or something. Yeah, it's close.
So you can fly into Managua and probably take a bus to Granada, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure even I've heard there's some ride shares and stuff in Managua. I personally haven't tried that yet, but one of my colleagues did. So I'm sure you could even do one of the ride shares and get to Granada. But yeah, it's super close. And like I said, from Gran Pacifica, it's about a 2-hour drive. So it is one of those things when I tell our, guests or clients that are visiting here, I really recommend that they, go and spend the weekend in Granada because it's a great, place to explore.
That's fantastic. And I want to point out that when we talk about taking the bus in Central American countries, when, we're not talking the chicken bus. There are a lot of chicken buses,
right?
Which I never saw a chicken on, and it was always very good. They're old school buses, but they also, from city to city, have very, very nice buses that are kind of like Greyhound. Even in Honduras, even had bathrooms in them.
Right.
Very accommodating.
Yeah, the Tika bus is what it is.
Yeah. There we go. Okay.
I have not done that yet, but I know people that take them, they take it to Costa Rica, to Honduras. You can grab one and go all over the place. So I'll do that.
Oh, absolutely. I used to take them all over the place and very comfortable, very like a big Greyhound bus with they even, with the most of them I were on, they even gave you food. It was fantastic, like old days on an airline. Yeah. So now you're back in Gran Pacifica.
I am. I'm back here. We are in the rainy season, so this has been different than last year. Though we've had more rain this year than last year, so a lot of indoor activities, but we've had a lot of guests and people in town this past week. So it was definitely a busy time, but I always enjoy, sharing Gran Pacifica with others.
Well, let me share something with them, which you may not know. I got permission from Mike Cobb, the developer of Gran Pacifica, and I have a letter, I think, going out tomorrow, offering people, and I think you may know that because I think you were copied on it, the letter offering people who want to come and visit 30% off on accommodations while they're paying. That is incredible. I was stunned. He offered it to one young couple who wrote to me, and I passed the letter on. I said, how about if I offer it to all the Offshore Club members? And he said, go ahead. So that's incredible.
It is incredible. And everyone should jump on that offer for sure. So I want to know who's coming to visit real soon.
And folks, when you get there, this is the lady that you will get to meet. So you definitely have something to look forward to. You are always I think this is our third or fourth visit. First on Leslie at Large, but third or fourth visit because you've been on Coffee with Carter, which, by the way, folks, Monday at noon at offshore.club. I got to put in a plug for myself. And you are always delightful. So, folks, take advantage of that letter because I think, it won't last forever. So make your reservation and you get to meet this lady. So, Leslie, thank you. This has been fantastic.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
And then next week, we will find out where you are again from Leslie at Large. So, folks, thanks for joining us. It's a terrific program, and you're going to get to see all of Nicaragua with Leslie at Large. So, thanks for joining me.